Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ali from the AI Enthusiast, and today we'll be covering Lecture 3 on the Artificial Intelligence Explained series. So yeah, let's jump into it. So Lecture 3, we're going to be talking about the ML process and common careers. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the AIML process. So the videos that we've gone over before this video, they're leading up to this slide essentially. So the AIML process is 5 high-level tasks. The first is identifying the task. Then like the actual AIML thing that you want to do. The second is collecting the data. Third is once you have that data, you got to label it and format it. And then once you have this formatted data, then you can actually train a model on it. So step 4 is identifying the type of algorithm or model you want to train, and then actually training it on that data. And then step 5 is once you've trained that model, is to assess the performance of that model. So let's take a look on the bottom right. You have a scenario where we want to classify, we want to take an image and see whether or not it's an image of a cat versus a dog. So the first step is identifying the task. So we want to classify cats versus dogs. Step 2 is collecting the data. So cats and dogs images, ML models, they need a lot of samples. And so you're going to need to have a lot of pictures. So maybe take pictures of cats and dogs or actually outsource that. But you need to have that collection of pictures. And then step 3 is labeling the data. So you can see how next to this cat image, I have the label cat. And next to this dog image, I have the label dog. So I'm telling the computer, once I start training it, like this is a cat and this is a dog. So labeling every single one of these, formatting it, putting it in the right format. Finally, step 4, identify the algorithm I want to train on. So on this right side here, you can see these 4 rectangles. This is like a crude depiction of what's called a CNN, convolutional neural network. It's basically an algorithm or a model. So we've chosen the model that we want to train on. There are others that could identify patterns, but we've chosen the CNN, and then we're going to train it on this data set over here of the cats and dogs images. And then finally, once we're done training it, we're going to assess the performance. And we're going to say, okay, it can get cat versus dog correctly like 90% of the time, or maybe 100% of the time. So that's assessing the model's performance. And as you can see, this is the whole high-level process. And then, of course, related to this, you have machine learning ops, basically doing this in a repeatable, maintainable, scalable way, and then deploying these models. Like maybe this is part of like a mobile app, and so you have millions of people using that mobile app. You want to make sure you can scale your models so that it can handle that kind of traffic. So yeah, that is the high-level process, AIML process. We'll go to the next slide. So a part of the process is like understanding who does what in this process, right? So like over here, we have a couple of different job families. You have, or just fields, if you will, a bunch of buzzwords. So you have the field of artificial intelligence, and this is many different things. You can have rules-based systems. You can have like software that is supposed to mimic the human brain or the brain of like a mouse. So this is artificial intelligence. A subfield of that is machine learning. So this is learning from data. So data-driven learning algorithms. And then a subfield of that is deep learning, where these algorithms were specifically using neural networks and using those neural networks to come up with patterns in the data. On the other side, you have business analytics, and this is looking at business data, right? Using SQL, Tableau, Power BI, getting some insights in your particular domain. And then data science is like a mixture of all of these, where you have to know the business side and you need to know like the technical side, and that way you can apply ML in a practical setting. But yeah, so those are like the five or six different buzzwords that you'll keep hearing. And then finally, more buzzwords. It's just the same ones. I've just redefined them here. I won't go into many details here, but you're welcome to see this slide. You'll see like what these particular job families or these functions do. But in general, all of these are doing these 5 steps. I didn't mention in this slide, I didn't mention data engineers, but data engineers are powering the data collection and data management for the machine learning process. So there's also data engineering, and then you have also software engineering, just general software that helps you put together all these pieces so that you can train up these models to recognize patterns in your data. All right. So then going to what majors or backgrounds make a good AI practitioner. To be very honest, any major is good. You just really need to have a strong fundamentals, strong fundamental knowledge of programming, and then a good understanding of math. Even this isn't that necessary, but it always helps. And finally, curiosity and confidence to learn. And of course, the practical majors, physics, math, engineering, computer science, these majors, they tend to have these fundamentals, these three things: programming, mathematics, and then curiosity and confidence to learn. So they naturally are a good fit. But I've definitely seen folks that are not from these traditional backgrounds. Then going to the next and final slide of this discussion, or this presentation here, is how do you get practically involved? So there are two layers to this, two steps. The first is just for awareness. And the reason why you might want to do this is you want to become a better decision maker for your business, if you're a CEO or a manager, director, what have you. And then alternatively, you want to invest in companies, startups, or business opportunities. So that is the first step, is just having a high level awareness. Second is like becoming a practitioner, if you want to go down that path. And so to do that, you want to understand the core technologies, the mathematics, potentially. Like I said, it's good to know the math, and also quickly onboard and build out your portfolio. So, like once you've learned these things, actually putting it into practice. So those are the two phases. And this channel is really aimed at both of these. In particular, these videos, this series of videos on artificial intelligence explained, it's more so about awareness of AI/ML and giving us a high level understanding of what it is. So yeah, that is today's lecture. Thanks for joining us. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you have any other questions or comments regarding this video, please post them at the bottom. And take care. See you next time.